So in this video, we're gonna go into the Nutty Putty Cave. And for the rest of this part, after this, I'm gonna mute my mic, so you guys won't be able to hear me.
Welcome, adventurer. As you already know, Nutty Putty Cave is located west of Utah Lake in Utah County, United States. Despite its big reputation, the cave isn't actually that large. The total mapped length is about 1,355 to 1,400 feet, with a depth of roughly 145 feet. From this point, the cave splits into two routes. We can head left to enter the maze, or go right toward the famous Big Slide. For the full experience, I recommend starting on the left. Let's go there now. Look at your watch. The percentage shows how much of the cave you've already explored. Remember, you can rewind or pause the audio guide at any time using the tablet or the menu, which opens by pressing and holding the right stick. Hold it now and try adjusting the audio by touching the on-screen icons. Try adjusting the audio by touching the on-screen icons. Here we are. This section of the passage is called the Maze, and you'll soon see why. Sculpted by hot water in some unusual forms, it's given many adventurers their first taste of getting lost here. You see, Nutty Putty is a hydrothermal cave. Instead of being carved by rainwater seeping down, it formed through hydrothermal activity. Its origin is also hypogenic, meaning superheated, mineral-rich water rose from below and dissolved the rock from the inside out. Quite unusual compared to most limestone caves. Take a look and let's proceed further to the big room. Welcome to the big room. Compared to most cave sections, it feels open, tall, and almost comfortable. Many cavers pause here to catch their breath before moving on, so stay a while and listen. The cave was discovered in 1960 by a teenage caver named Dale Green, who went on to explore and document many caves in Utah. It's said Dale Green originally thought of calling it Silly Putty, but later decided Nutty Putty sounded better. Can't argue here. The cave takes its name from its soft clay-like texture made of silicon dioxide, the same mineral found in sand. As it formed upward through superheated water depositing calcite, other minerals were also left behind, creating a complex structure. That's why many passages are wet and filled with sticky clay, while in other places, the walls are made up of cherty limestone, sometimes coated with a thin layer of powdery calcite. Mind you, we're basically crawling through an entire semester's worth of physics and chemistry. The Helmet Eater. Why the name? Nutty Putty Cave became a favorite training ground for Boy Scouts, adventure groups, and college students, many of whom had their helmets bitten by its tight passages. The narrow, twisting tunnels offered just enough challenge that countless adventurers, including teens and scouts, squeezed in only to get stuck for hours, sometimes overnight, before being rescued. Thanks to its nearby location and the novelty of caving, it also earned a quirky reputation as a local. We're approaching the end of this section of the cave. Got yourself warmed up? Good. Perhaps it's due to its hydrothermal past. Temperatures inside Nutty Putty remain around 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 12.7 degrees Celsius year-round. That may not seem very cold, but remember that movement through the cave is slow and the body has little chance to warm up through circulation. For caving, It's therefore recommended not only to have a helmet, flashlight, and sturdy boots, but also warm, preferably waterproof clothing. Once you feel you've seen everything here, let's head back to the entrance and explore the second part of the cave. Feel like sliding? You're not alone. At the height of its popularity, the cave drew more than 5,000 visitors a year. So much traffic wore the rock smooth, and experts warned that a fatal accident was only a matter of time in one of its main features, a long 45-degree chamber known as the Big Slide, where we are right now. Those safety concerns, along with the growing damage caused by constant use, led to the cave's temporary closure in 2006. They're also the reason for the ladder you'll find at the end of this section. Be careful on your way down. You don't want to meet your end here, especially in a place meant for a very different kind of rebirth we'll soon discover. The corridor to the left leads to Ed's Push and the story of what happened there. The corridor to the right takes you to the threshold of one of the cave's most famous sections. Its name speaks for itself and has long been a magnet for many spelunkers who came here straight from the entrance. I believe there's little point in describing it further. This is something you'll simply have to experience. See you on the other side. Even before Jones's death and the permanent closure of the cave, there were many cases of people getting lost here, with Boy Scouts being perhaps the most frequently rescued group over the years. Some veterans recall that the early explorations were much more wild, muddy, improvised, and with little preparation. In later years, rules, managed access, and safety protocols were introduced to prevent accidents and protect the cave from littering. Tired and panicked visitors had sometimes abandoned helmets, clothing, dead batteries, and other items, things that not only spoiled the sense of exploration, but in the dark, wet passages could cause dangerous accidents. The guiding rule in Nutty Putty was simple: never squeeze into a place you might not be able to get back out of. Here, you can squeeze through anywhere. If you feel stuck, try moving your head in line with your hands to push forward or back out. We're now traveling through Vein Alley, another biologically named section of the cave. Names like this, as well as the aorta crawl and the birth canal, are not merely metaphors for the vein-like network of winding passages. They also reflect the cave's unique ecosystem, which hosts an endemic fauna. Various insects and bats have specifically adapted to survive in these dark, narrow chambers, making Nutty Putty not only a remarkable geologic formation, but also a site of considerable biological interest. The alley has several branches. If you want to achieve a 100% exploration rating of the cave, try to visit them all. The Vein Alley marks the end of the right route through the cave, so when you feel you've had enough, you can make your way back to the entrance.
Alright, that's gonna be the end for this video. I hope you guys liked it. The Vein Alley is just a bunch of dead ends. I didn't see a point in doing it. So, hope you guys like this video, and goodbye.